Hi, darling. Welcome to the Hundamental Guide to Life, the podcast with me, Gareth. Now, you know here on the Hundamental Guide to Life, we love a bit of 90s and noughties nostalgia. So this season, we've teamed up with possibly the honeyest summer festival ever, Back to Festival. Back to Festival's 2022 lineup is literally all your Hun dreams coming true. I'm talking Cascada, Venga Boys, Aqua, UB40, Bass Hunter, E17, The Artful Dodger, Hunsnet Faves Steps as part of their 25th anniversary tour, and so many more headlining acts. Now, in its 6th year, Back to Festival is the ultimate throwback party, spread over 4 nights and featuring 3 stages with over 100 iconic artists. This festival is definitely the one, hun. Wanna be bougie? No problem. This year's Back to Festival features a brand new VIP area, gorgy cocky tea bars, creamy Hun drinks brands, and local food traders for you and your gaggle of Huns to enjoy. Taking place at Catton Park, Derbyshire from the 30th of June to the 3rd of July, Back to Festival is going to give you all the bragging rights and plenty of Insta-worthy content. So block out the diary and galvanise your darlings for a weekend to remember. Want to know more? Check out Back to Festival on FaceB or at Back to Festivals on Insta. Tickets are on sale right now, babes, and start at just £30. So what are you waiting for, Huns? Check out www.backtofestivals.co.uk for all the down low on the weekend, the full lineup and tickets. It's gonna be a right old rave up. Welcome to another episode of the Hundamental Guide to Life, and this week my guest is a proper Radio-Hun. It's only Dean McCullough, our lovely, lifting Northern Irish voice that warms your ears regularly on Radio-1. With a face for the telly, not for radio, he's a top Hun. How are you, Dean? Welcome to the Hundamental Guide to Life.
Oh my God, that was a really lovely delivery of that there, Gareth. Have you been practicing that intro all day?
Right, this podcast needs to come with some sort of X-rated warning because the episodes that we've done, but they have got dead dirty, like really dirty. We are in the gutter. So do you think we should put a warning out for this episode? Or
you want me to do it with my BBC voice?
Do it, BBC voice.
Thank you for listening to the Hundamental Guide to Life podcast with the Hun Queen, Gareth. Unfortunately, Gareth cannot be with us anymore. He has been sacked, but we have enlisted the help of political correspondent Laura Kunsberg to continue the rest of the series.
I was expecting Nina Nana, to be honest.
Oh my God, ITV's entertainment correspondent Nina Nana, never.
Oh, I forgot your BBC. Lovely. Right, okay, Dean, welcome to the Hundamental Guide to Life. Now, we always start with all of our guests sort of addressing the elephant in the room, or not elephant in the room. We ask our guests, would you consider yourself a little bit of a Hun or a total Hun?
Oh, was I a slag or a total slag? Was I a Hun or a total Hun? I think that I've got varying degrees of Hun.
Yeah.
Actually, sometimes, like for today, for example, I am sat here with my Dallin mug, which she's
Pride Edition.
Pride Edition. And when I drink from this, I see it as a bit of a Hun elixir because I wake up not feeling quite honey, and then I have a sip from my Dallin Pride Edition mug, and I'm like full on Philip Schofield.
Really?
No, well, I just mean because he was Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
He was, yeah. You could have gone Darren Day. Darren Day's Hun.
Oh, Darren Day is fit as well. He's got big feet, does Darren Day.
Really? I didn't know that. Right, okay. We've spoken about feet with other guests on the podcast. Are you on that sort of Wiki Feet page? Do you know there's a Wiki Feet page where you can check celebrities' feet out on?
Oh, no, I didn't need to. I was doing a show at the Grand Opera House, and Darren had been in my dressing room the day before doing a bonus edition of Any Dream Will Do to open the theatre's like new conservatory or something, extra seats or something that they put in, and spent like £100 million on it. And he had been doing Joseph the day before, and I was in his dressing room the next day. We were rehearsing for a show that I was doing, and he'd only left his bloody golden Chelsea boots underneath the table.
Oh, really?
Massive feet, absolutely ginormous.
Yeah, but Chelsea boots can be quite deceiving with that, because they are, that little bit pointed at the end,
Yeah.
So Are you sure? Are you sure they were massive, or did you not think it was the add-on of the Chelsea boot?
Well, I've got them here somewhere.
And I've got Darren in the booth, actually. Let's get him out.
Here's what you could have won. What did Philip Schofield got Darren Day? I don't know which is worse.
Well, I've got to be honest with you, Darren Day. In fact, we should get Darren Day on this podcast. Put him on the list. Darren Day is total Hun.
Yeah, he is a Hun. So I think that sometimes I am quite Hunny. I mean, when I'm dressed head to toe in denim, I've got ready listening to my 90s dance anthems.
Yeah.
I've poured myself a little alcohol-free Secco, and the Uber's outside, and I go and meet my girls, and we go and have a lovely time on Canal Street. Then I get home with my Domino's pizza and I sit watching reruns of Drag Race or like The Chase season 1, just flicking through TikTok, throwing shade at everybody. That's me being an ultimate Hun. And you know, people come to me advice and I just tell them to shut the fuck up and live, laugh, love. I think that's quite Hunny as well.
I think you're playing down your Hundom here. I think that I think you're up there. I think you're top level preemie Hun. You were definitely up there with the Hunning, right? Let's go a little bit specific here. Pacific, if you're a total Hun. But before we move on to this has just reminded me of something that I've never ever meaned, but is something that is totally Hun. And it's not a CV. Did you have record of achievements?
Oh my God, I loved my record of achievement. I loved it. Where the fuck is it though? I've never seen it. I actually don't think I took it out of school. I think it's still there. I think that with the record of achievement, I think those pleather things that they come
pleatherette.
That pleatherette folder that they come in are so expensive to the teachers' boards that they just recycle them. So I think they give you them in one hand and then they fuck you out the door and they just use them for the next year. Oh
my God, memory unlocked there. Content incoming about a record of achievement.
What was in your record of achievement?
Oh God, people who I fingered, I think.
Oh my God.
No, I'm joking. No, I'm not. What was in my record of achievement? We had this thing. I used to go to a school called Trevethyn Comprehensive School in South Wales. Shout out to all my OG Huns there. None of them will be listening, I'm sure.
None of them are alive.
Thank you, Dean. Right, it was lovely to meet you, Dean.
Hi, everyone.
Lovely to see you. Good luck with the goujons. For anybody who doesn't know, Dean is gobbling on a couple of goujons at the moment. So I was in my record of achievement. I had cuttings from the Torvine Free Press, and it was something to do with collecting cans for a recycling project. There was a couple of clippings, and then there was my GCSE results that I've just basically lied about for 20 years.
Yeah, so what you're trying to say is that you were Greta Thunberg before Greta Thunberg was Greta Thunberg.
That's exactly it. Let's start this off, Dean. Are you a beige buffet kind of guy?
Well, I do love a prawn ring. I really love a good prawn ring. But I do like a good beige buffet. See, if I'm being invited to a party, I don't know about you, Hun, but if I'm being invited to a party, right, and there isn't a buffet, I'm not interested. I want the soggy vol au vents. I want the spring rolls that don't taste like anything. I want the cocktail sausages that are like 3 weeks out of date, but you just put them in for an extra couple of minutes and no one knows.
No one knows.
Like I was doing a gig this weekend and they were like, "Oh, Dean, we're really sorry because we were late getting my lunch." They were like, "Oh, really sorry, but your sandwiches are really stale." And I went,
"Fine, Hun.
What's the problem with that? Like, I think they taste better when they're a bit sweaty and stale." I love it, but I don't know why I got goujons the other day. I was just doing a quick shop, and I just picked up some Southern Fried Chicken goujons. But I have to tell you, I'm going to show you that they are absolutely smothered in salt.
I can only have anything fill it. The second you chuck a bone in front of me.
Oh yeah, and that's the only time you'll say no to a bone.
I've got to pause this now because this is my Amazon delivery. I'm so sorry.
Oh wait, right, we're all going to stay here, everyone, because I want to play. You go get that. I'm going to play a game with our listeners. Let's guess what Gareth is getting from Amazon today. I'll go first. I think that Gareth is getting a 12-inch shelf for his downstairs bathroom. What is it? I want you to open it whilst we're on the Zoom. What is it?
There's actually 3 items. Okay, the first is a nozzle for my hose pipe out the back. I've got a hard broom for that. And then my final thing is we've just bought a really nice big, plant, spent quite a bit of money on it, and it's dying before our very eyes, and we've only had it for 10 days. So I've just bought one of those soil tester things that you put in and it tells you how wet it is down there.
Sorry, I just nodded off there. You lost me at nozzle for my hose pipe. Are you okay, hon? I knew you to be going out drinking pornstar martinis of an evening. Now you're ordering soil testers.
I know, this is it, hun. This is it. I've been hun covered. This is it. I'm not really a hun. I'm quite a domesticated middle-aged man living in Tottenham, worrying about the Sahara rain. So, do you know all the moves to Who Do You Think You Are, Spice Girls?
Oh shit, this is my Twitter header as well. So do I need to do it?
Bonus points if you.
Am I going to get put through the judges' houses if I get it right?
You might get to go to Louis Walsh's house in North Belfast.
Oh, I'm all right. I know nothing. Do I know all the words? Listen, after a couple of Beck's Blues down GAY Canal Street, I can blag it.
Yeah.
Swing it, shake it, move it, make it. Who do you think you
are?
Click.
Use it, prove
click,
it, prove
snap,
it.
Shake, shake. I know it.
I don't know why I did porn tongue there. I don't know why I did that.
You do you.
It is right, isn't it? You've got to be in. You'd never, if it came on the radio, you'd probably go through the moves in your head. But if you're in GAY Bar Manchester and that comes on blaring out,
yeah,
boom, it just all comes back to you, doesn't it?
It's weird, isn't it? I'm like that with songs as well. As a McFly song will come on, I'm like, how do I know all the words to Five Colours in a Her? I've literally not sung this song in ages, but they just come, don't they?
They do, just when you need them. Back in the day when you were at school, did you ever have curtains? Not in your house, like in your hair.
With my curly hair, I always wanted curtains. I mean, 97 was a big year, and I was 5, so obviously I was wearing my like Alessi tracksuit and my Adidas original hand-me-down tracksuits with holes in it from my cousins. And 90s fashion was so huge, and obviously I wanted to have David Beckham curtains to the point where I asked my mummy why I didn't have a cow's lick. You know what a cow's lick is?
Is that something that goes across there like that? Like
a cow's lick is a thing that you get in your hair. It's a natural thing that you're born with. They call it a cow's lick in Belfast. I don't know what they call it over here in the mainland. But but it's like a cow's lick, and it makes your hair straight, and that's how you can get good curtains. But I didn't. It was now that you've brought it up, it's actually I feel a bit triggered because.
Do you want to take a moment?
Yeah, if you just want to take a moment. I'm just going to take a sip out of my darling mug. One sec. I really wanted curtains when I was younger, and I just didn't have the hair for it. Thank you. Next question.
Yeah. Well, less about your curtains. Right. Okay. You're on your hollybobs and out in jeans and a nice shirt. How many rips have you got in your jeans?
None. I can't bear. I'm sorry, Gav. I can't bear rips in jeans. 40-year-old men walking up and down Soho with rips in their jeans. Guys, I'm sorry, hun or not, it's unacceptable.
If I have like a pair of jeans that have gone through been through the mill and there's a bit of a rip in them and it's happened naturally and it's occurred naturally, I can deal with that.
Fine.
I'm never going to go to the shop and go, can I get a pair of your best ripped jeans, please?
You're on the same page as me.
Yeah, I mean, I am nearly 40, so I am like, this is the problem, Dean. I don't know whether you're mugging me off here or...
Honey, the last thing that you need is a pair of ripped jeans. You need to go with your nozzle on the end of your hose and your soil tester is a pair of ripped jeans.
Radio 1 is where all the cool kids are at. If a Radio 1 DJ tells me I can't wear ripped jeans, I am not wearing ripped jeans.
Until Billie Eilish brings them back in, no.
Okay, what about Billie Piper? If Billie Piper
brings... No!
That's the only Billie I'm interested in.
I mean, because you want to.
Yeah, literally. You're in GAY Manchester. It's Britney Bitch comes on. What's your first reaction?
Slut drop.
Slut drop straight to the floor. Are we talking full height to full low, or is it a demi slut drop?
Honey, it's one of those that you think I might have just been bending down to pick up my contact lens.
Yeah.
It's quite subtle. It's like, boom. It's pretty much, and then I'm going to slowly rise.
Are you going to dolphin up, with the hair flick over?
Baby, believe it. Yeah, I've got because obviously that night I'll be wearing my one luminous pink extension in my front of my hair.
That you got on Torremolinos.
That I got on Accessories. I'm just going to be working my one pink extension as I come up for the ground, and people are like, Dean, where were you? I was just being Britney, bitch.
Can I just say, actually, I've just thought about it. Isn't it amazing that during like lockdown and all the pandemic, that so many like fashion brands folded because obviously people weren't buying and going out, but Claire's accessories, people obviously still needed those sparkly, scrunchies and whatnot and those fake hair pieces. Isn't that amazing?
I love that for them. And when we were younger, I used to go there with my cousin, and obviously I just was there to hold the basket, but really I was helping her with her studs and her fake nails.
Go to the top.
And do you remember it used to be like, I think it used to be like 3 for $4? Do you remember? And you used to walk around with your wee tiny miniature
Yeah.
basket, which because we were so young, they were ginormous, but actually they're tiny.
Yeah.
And you used to walk around. I remember used to going into Claire's Accessories on a Saturday with my cousin and just being stood there and just being fascinated by all these women and all these girls just going and buying nail polish and little bags for stuff that they're never going to use.
And hen party paraphernalia.
Oh my God, I didn't even know what a hen party was.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, give me the hen party vibes. I want to do it. And then I became gay.
Yeah. Now, talking about being gay, you've got yourself a nice, cute little dog, haven't you?
What's that got to do with me?
I don't know. No, but you've got a cute little dog called Freddie, who is actually one of the stars of your Instagram. Is Freddie here?
Freddie, do you want to be on the Hundamental podcast? Oh my God, you're being swerved by my Shih Tzu. Freddie's swerving. This is Gareth off of Hunsnet. He's like, Dad, I'm 2 days before my fresh fade. What are you doing? All these gays are going to see me. The first person that Freddie ever humped was Sam Bailey off the X Factor. Clown.
Oh, God.
True story. Do you know that Freddie has met Adam Rickett off of I Breathe Again?
Oh, my God.
If you've ever known a more Hun dog, it's Freddie Hun.
Well, this is it, Hun. It's Freddie Hun.
Named after Freddie Mercury as well.
You are living all of your Hun-ness through the dog.
Correct.
So do you have matching outfits? Have you ever had, you and Freddie have got some sort of matching outfit? Does Freddie wear outfits?
Yeah, he does. He's got, I think Freddie's quite fluid.
Yeah.
I think Freddie is quite a fluid wee dog. He's sort of just like, he's a man of the people. He's a national treasure, if you will.
Yeah.
But I do put him in rainbow, lovely little rainbow jackets and stuff. He's got one of them. He's got a camp scrub coat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the fur around the hood.
Yeah.
Scrub coat. He's got one of them. Just if he's popping to the shops, they put tenner on the lecky.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have matching though, unfortunately.
No, you're not matching. Well, you've got one has to be the style icon, and then it has to be the follower.
I'm the follower.
Well, I didn't want to say it. Is there an inspirational quote that gets you going? You know, I'm talking live, love, laugh, running on bitch dust, keep calm and drink tea.
I actually have a Roald Dahl quote that lives beside my bed. It's this one, Hun. I got this frame in B&M. It was only £1. And it says, never do anything by halves. If you want to get away with it, be outrageous, go the whole hog, make sure everything you do is so completely crazy it's unbelievable. It's not very catchy. I probably wouldn't get that on my downstairs loo door, but whatevs.
Okay, let's just dissect this again, because it's in a frame. Did you get the frame and the prints separately, and you put these together, or was this a gift for you?
Yeah, this was a conscious effort. I did this.
Oh, you did this yourself?
It was kind of like, it was a bit of an arts and crafts project. Are you going to read me for this?
No, I'm not reading you. I wouldn't do that.
You're taking a look at my frame and thinking that was a choice.
And where does this live?
It lives in my built-in wardrobe.
It lives in the built, so you open the wardrobe, ta-da, and that is there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doors on my wardrobes. They're just basically it's just shelves.
Uh-huh.
It lives on a shelf. It's extremely dusty, but yeah, it's quite dusty. It was this was given to me. This wee thing was given to me by a friend of mine, and I saw these frames in B&M, and they were like cheap, and I thought I'd put them together. But I quite like it. Never do anything by halves if you want to get away with it.
And how often do you look at it and sort of take in the words and the energy from that?
Well, today's the first day I've done it. Today's the first day I've actually fully read it from beginning to end. I once said when I was in drama school all those years ago, I said to the boys in the summer holidays, if I don't have the words "living the dream" tattooed on my wrist by the time I come back, it was 2010. It was all the rage that summer. If I don't have live the dream tattooed on my wrist, then don't talk to me first day back at college. I didn't get it, and they didn't talk to me for a whole term.
Well, the prophecy fulfills itself.
For sure.
There we are.
I quite like living the dream. I've got like a wee book of sayings. Me and my mum, we always say that, oh, if it's not for you, it won't pass you.
Oh, yeah.
Love them.
Yeah, the mums have got. I think there's like Hun quotes which we all sort of either like live by or poke fun at or put on a decal around our kitchen. And then there's like mum quotes which exist there, and they're just like, well, it's just what you do, isn't it? All of those sorts of things. The mums, but they have a different gravitas to the shit that you put on a bit of driftwood in your bathroom, right?
For sure. And I think that my mummy calls it the big book of cliches. And if I ring her and I always think it's when my mummy's struggling for what to actually say.
Yeah.
And I think as gay children, when we go to our mums for advice and they're like, Sorry, son, can't relate.
Yeah.
They'll just bring out the big book of cliches, which is low key what I think my mum has done. But bless her, she'll say things to me like, "Oh, sure, son, it is what it is,"
Yeah.
or
At the end of the day.
"At the end of the day, son, it's night," or "Oh, sure," or she'll say to, or my mummy's quote that she lives by, no matter what happens, broken heart, broken leg, broken car door, she always tells me, "Drink plenty of water."
And are you drinking plenty of water?
I'm drinking some water right now, hon.
Literally.
Electrolyte, drinking it now, H2O.
What's your thoughts on men in Uggs? Have you got a pair of Uggs?
Oh my god, I probably would still be wearing my Uggs if I didn't put them in storage when I was travelling in them offset them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually quite, again, I'm feeling quite triggered because they were £220 and I bought them at Meadowhall in 2000 and the Christmas of 2010. I was in Sheffield doing panto and I bought myself these Uggs, and honestly I loved them so much because they were the first proper thing that I owned that weren't fake. And I put them in storage when I went travelling. I came back and the moths had at them. There were holes. There were holy Uggs. I probably would have got away with wearing them on a Sunday to church.
Well, they I mean, the way that you described them, they sound like an Uggs Crocs crossover.
They were by the end of it, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's so funny that you've mentioned Meadowhall there, right? Because randomly, when I went down Catherine Zeta-Jones' sort of black hole the other day, I found out that Catherine Zeta-Jones was the celebrity that opened up Meadowhall when it first came out.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like, she was there for like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I think they probably had a helicopter with the engine still running on the roof.
This was Darling Buds of May, Catherine Zeta-Jones, not Zorro Catherine Zeta-Jones or Chicago Catherine. This was like way back, do you know what? When this episode comes out, I'll post the clip because I've got it.
Oh my God.
And you're going to be like, bam, Catherine Zeta-Jones in Sheffield.
What's she wearing?
It's kind of like a beige, sort of 90s beige power suit type, kicky flare, square heel, court shoey thing.
Oh my God, I'm here for it.
Obviously, Hun culture is all about sort of celebrities from the 90s, noughties, and today. Are there quotes from like reality shows or things that have happened on TV that you and your friends like quote all the time? Like anything. It could be Gemma Collins or it could be something really niche. Have you got something that your go-to quotes?
It's a logistical nightmare, this one, because me and my boys, if I'm like outside their house in the car ready to take them to the cinema
or B&M
or both actually, B&M for sweets, then cinema because they're so expensive.
Pricey.
I'll be like, I'm ready, kiss. And the reply will not be like, right, I'll be 5 minutes, or I'm on my way. It's whenever you're ready. And unfortunately, we have to go through the whole script. It can't just be like, I'm ready whenever you're ready. It's like, I'm ready whenever you're ready. You said that's with some determination. Whenever you're ready. I'm ready whenever you're ready. And because there's 4 of us in a group chat, that's a logistical nightmare because we meet a lot. So nothing ever gets done because of that.
Because of Tracy Cohen and Cheryl and will.i.am's interaction on X Factor 12 years ago.
Yeah, which was brought back around again by Harry Hill. And then again by Drag Race.
Why are people like Holly Jervis, Rachel Lester, Kelly Peakman, why are these 6-minute auditions from like 14, 15 years ago on X Factor? Why are they still with us and why are they referred to so much? Why do you think this is?
Because they were the golden age of reality TV competitions. Mm-hmm. This was when we hadn't quite cracked it in terms of manufacturing these situations. So these situations happened naturally. These people were found because they wanted to be singers. They wanted to go on and they wanted to win the X Factor. They wanted to win Pop Idol. They wanted to win Pop Stars, but they were naive.
Yeah.
They had never had any of this that had came before them, so they had no reference point to play up to. Yeah. They didn't really know what was going to happen. They didn't know that, you went on and you did, you toured and you did all of these things. They just knew that there was a film crew coming to Wembley Stadium and they knew the words to S Club 7, Have You Ever?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that probably would be my.
Yeah.
That was such a tune. I was listening to the whole S Club Sunrise album the other day. Gareth, you need to stick it on.
Well, do you know what? It's so funny that you're talking about S Club because this morning I was just wandering around Soho, hanging about, doing my thing in between appointments. And I noticed there's pizza. Have you seen Pizza Express Jazz?
Yeah, Joe's doing one.
Joe from S Club is in Pizza Express Jazz.
Yeah, iconic.
Doing gigs. I mean, what a crossover. That is a Hun crossover. Joe, S Club, Pizza Express.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Who doesn't love a wee bit of Don't Stop Moving in a dough ball?
Exactly.
So I just think that all of these clips
reach for all the stuff, Gareth.
Literally. I just think that was such a golden era, and people didn't take themselves too seriously. And actually, the TV production companies did exploit these kinds of people.
Yeah.
You know that somebody is perhaps not supposed to be on TV. They're probably struggling a little bit with certain things, or they're not quite sure what they're getting themselves in for. And the production teams look at them and they go, "You'll make great telly."
Yeah.
Which is what we saw with the whole Jeremy Kyle documentary that came out recently. It was
shocking.
It's quite a sorry state of affairs, but people did get exploited really quite badly. However, those people owned it a little bit, and some of them were in on the jokes. And nowadays, a lot of these people that have provided us with so many great clips of content and memes and stuff like that, they share them now themselves, and they can appreciate it, and that makes it feel quite nice, But I think that we were just in a golden era of TV, and I was speaking to a couple of my TV friends about this recently, and I said, we're never going to get back to that. No. We are never, ever going to get back to those interviews in judges' houses in Miami and people crying and, all of that sort of fueled TV. It's just not going to be there like it was before, because we're all way too attuned to it now.
My favourite clip is like the Rachel Lester clip. 10, especially the content that I would share on it. It's always done with complete admiration and love, because Rachel Lester walks into that audition room with bigger balls than anyone who's ever gone in, and all of them, and she just goes, right, well, fuck you then, I'm off, sort of thing.
But that's what I love about Hun culture. That's my big the thing that that sort of it appeals to me so much, is that we're taking you guys, you meme creators that I adore, are taking these moments that other people perhaps would have poo-pooed, and they're taking people that other people might think are weird and kooky and strange, and we're celebrating them.
It's all such a celebratory thing.
Such a celebration of just not taking yourself too seriously, always wanting things to be fun and lighthearted, and it's almost like being queer people as well. We for so many years were pushed into the shadows for having these quips and these funny things that we would just come out with as a form of defense. But now because of Hun culture, we get to come together and share all of that pain and share all of that trauma in a way which is so bizarre, because all we're doing is sharing memes and funny videos, but that's what brings us together. It is. Everybody's got this unconscious shared nostalgia that we can all tap into. And then I think what the special moment is when you upload, I'll upload something which is so ingrained on my head, in my brain, of what my sister's bedroom looked like when I was younger, and I'll think about that, and then I'll create a piece of content about it, put it out, and then just to see how people are interacting. Oh, I had that fiber optic lamp. Oh my God, I had that groovy chick, and oh yeah, we had a dado rail and border and all like that. That's the part which I love about it. It's this tapped into this shared nostalgia. There's definitely some science in it, but I just can't be asked to study it. I don't think there is science in it. I think you're giving yourself too much credit.
Perhaps the science is stop fucking living in the past and get in the moment now and get on with your life.
Is that. It's all of you fuckers need to get a grip.
It is. Hold up. We'll be back with our Gucci guest right after this. Thank you for supporting Hunsnet on Instagram and loyally listening to this podcast, The Hundamental Guide to Life. Now, the Instagram and the podcast will always be totally free to you, babes, and you will never have to dip into that prosexy pot to carry on consuming the Hunsnet content that you enjoy. But we know that some of you would love more content, and to facilitate this, you can now go behind the curtain and support Hunsnet on Patreon. For as little as the cost of your morning cup of coffee, you can get exclusive access to so much more Hunsnet content, exclusive discounts, offers, and even get the podcast in video form and ad-free. Get involved now, babes. www.patreon.com/Hunsnet. Hun supporting Huns, honey. Let's get deep and personal. There's another Hun pun with you, Dean. So, first of all, congratulations on it's not so new anymore. Radio-Hun for you. You like seasoned now. How long's it been since?
6 months. I've been doing my show for 6 months. I've been at Radio-Hun since December 2020 when they give me the lifeline to do 2 shows at Christmas, and then they brought me back, and I covered quite a bit in 2021. Cut my teeth and got in there and learned from all of those amazing people. And then in July of last year, they rang me up and asked me, did I want my own show? And I actually turned it down. I said no. I said no. I'm going to need a company car, £1 million a year, and we'll talk about it. They came back and said, get fucked.
Get fucked. And then you were like, oh yeah, I'll do it for free.
Okay, I'll do it for free. But yeah, they offered me a show, and I started that in September, and we're 6 months in, and it's the fucking best thing I've ever done in my whole life.
I love the fact how you unapologetically get like some really like honey, trashy tunes on Radio-Hun. It's brilliant. Do you get in trouble for that?
No, I love it. They know me, and I've got a really amazing music team who helped me pull together all the tunes that we're going to play, and I unapologetically say yes, Shania Twain into Britney, into the Sugar Babes. And what's so amazing about that is that, and you're right, I do own it. And I actually, whenever I'm pulling these songs out and we're talking about what we want to play on the show, I actually underestimate how much people really need it and how much people really want it, because no one else is really doing that on the radio anymore. There's no real place for it, but Radio-Hun anthems are the best place for that nostalgia place to go to, where it just triggers all of these amazing emotions. And like even things like Green Day and Nickelback and Nirvana, and you even if you don't have a real affinity to those songs, it will take you back to that era of your life when you remember playing this and this, and it was on that Now 56 compilation that you had. And that's why I love doing it. But I get so many people texting in saying that they love hearing these tunes, and it reminds them of being maybe at uni or starting school and getting bullied and listening to the whole album from beginning to end. And a lot of queer people, and a lot of my like single mums who tune into Radio-Hun.
My single mums, that is Hun. I've got my single mums about me.
I've got the single mum girlies who I just adore, and I know that they're there, and I love them so much, and I know that they're I know that they're there listening. But I've got my straight boys as well who love me playing all of their Euro anthems and their football songs and their songs that they listen to when they're in the building sites and driving their taxis. But it's just a real testament to how much music brings people together.
Yeah. You made a good point there about queer people, queer culture, LGBTQ+. How important is it for you to get your voice out there?
It's not so much about me getting my voice out there. It's about me amplifying other people's voices. You know, I spent the last 3.5 years on Gadio, which was like the most invaluable 3.5 years of my life, because I got to really understand the importance of radio for marginalized groups, you know. Of course, there are queer people that listen to Radio-Hun, but the majority of my audience was queer at Gadio, and there were certain things that we had to cover and certain things that we had to provide for that group of people. And within that, I got to learn how much people need comfort and how much people need true information. They need their news given to them in a really clear way when it comes to certain issues. And I need to hold people to account as well as a queer person. So, and because of those years at Gadio and having, you know, really, really made loads of mistakes there and perhaps not done things the correct way just because I didn't know, but also I did some really great things there, and I look back and I'm really proud of those things, you know, holding Manchester Pride to account when all of that shit was going on last year. And even though they booked me and I've got a good relationship with them, it's my job to get the truth. And I did that, and I felt quite empowered by that because it wasn't about me. You cannot have any personal gain when you do these things, because then you just alienate the main reason why you're doing them. And I remember once, the very first time I ever felt this importance of shining light on to other people was whenever I interviewed an asylum seeker who had just came to Birmingham, and she had been thrown out of her country for being a lesbian, and in fact her lover had been killed in front of her. She'd been brutally
Wow.
attacked in front of her, and she fled and she got to Birmingham, and she was engaged with this charity, and it was a charity that I also was engaged with, just connecting them with other people that I knew needed some help. And I got her on and we pre-recorded the interview, and I'm really glad we did because no one could talk. We were all so upset for this girl, and she said her name was Star. That was the name that she'd given
Mhm.
herself, was Star, and I've never ever forgot her. And because of that, because of the interview that we played out on the radio, she got rehomed, she got rehoused, she got a job, she had support from another charity who helped fund things, and all she did was just tell her story.
Yeah.
And all I did was ask her about her story, and she was able to find a new life, all because of the power of radio. Nothing to do with me, nothing to do with my questions, but because she was there on the radio and she was given that platform, she was given that chance. And in terms of the work that I do now and where I want to take my career next, it's really, really not about me. And that's not me being a wanker saying that.
No.
It's really not about me. You know, I'm fine. I'm
Yeah.
fine. I've got my platform. I'm doing something that I love. If 5 people tuned in or 5 million people tuned in, I still love my job, and you know, I will always do it for as long as I'm supposed to. But I see it now, it's my duty as a broadcaster to not just be out there and shouting and tweeting, but in the rooms that I'm in the meetings that
Yeah.
I'm in, and the conversations that I'm having that nobody knows about, I'm constantly talking about Black artists, Black actors, Black production staff, queer stories, queerer than queer stories. Let's not just look at this as we need to be
Yeah.
diverse. These are the reasons we need to show what life really is about. And I take great pride in that. But I never thought that I would ever get to this place. I never thought I'd be sat in rooms with heads of channels and huge production companies talking about stuff that we want to make, and me telling them all to give me a moment to explain why we need to do it this way and not their way.
Yeah.
And that feels really good. And obviously, with my job, I can't be political.
No.
I can't stand up for the people that I would have been able to before. But that makes me work 10 times harder behind the scenes because I really believe in a lot of different things. I just can't be fully vocal about it all of the time, but it's okay.
With Hun culture particularly, it's a very nice, fluffy space where there's a lot of warmth and there's a lot of love. But it is this sort of crossover space of LGBTQ plus, queer, and straight culture. It's this infusion of thing. And if anybody listening to this podcast, if I could kind of impart anything on that, it's like queer life, LGBTQ plus issues are not Drag Race. Go below
Oh my
that. Go.
God.
And I think that that's something which comes up. So that's something which I, when we do our events and everything like that, and you have a drink with people at the end and everything, is to just say, go beneath that. This Hun culture space is a really nice place where we all can be in the room and feel safe together, but it goes deeper than that.
Yeah, it does. And I think that, and I've learned a great deal actually by not speaking on everything. And
Yeah.
I think that I would really love a lot of the people that I love in my life to not speak on absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Because there's a few people that I follow online who I adore, I really, really adore, and some of them are just Twitter friends, but the people that I hear their opinions more than my own friends in real life, and I think there's a great power in being able to do exactly what you've just said, Gareth, which is look at it and see it and then find out what is going on underneath it.
Yeah.
And it's in that place in which you can speak, and it's in that place that you should be getting bothered about. This isn't just about, toilets. This isn't just about gender neutral toilets. We're using the tool of gender neutral toilets to attack a certain community. And I think that I see a lot of discourse on my Twitter, and I've actually had to mute so many things recently. And now my feeds are just memes, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I think that, speaking on absolutely everything is exhausting, and it's not good for your mental health.
No.
It
No.
really, really isn't. And actually, I've been able to get through so much more now, so many different things now, by not getting into Twitter spats with people about certain issues. It doesn't mean to say I don't care. It doesn't mean to say that I'm not using my voice and my small platform that I've got. It's not that at all. It's just that on a Sunday night, I'm not going to just share my voice or pull you up on your language for the sake of some clout or for the sake of, or for the sake of it, because it blows up and it's not pretty and it's not good for your mental health. It fucks me up for like 2 weeks afterwards. So I've got my own little ways. I've got my own little ways of doing things. And I think that's why Hun culture really is important, because in that space, it's not political. In that place, everyone is everyone. Everyone is equal, and we're all valued and loved, and we're all complete and utter fucking Huns.
And I think the one thing that, the final thing I'd like to say on it is that, obviously there's lots of world issues going out at the moment. And I think one thing I've reminded myself this year is that people interact with the content that I put out because they're looking for escapism. They're looking for, light-hearted stuff. And if I start crossing those two worlds together, it's, somebody who might be triggered by something that they don't want. They might have come for that. But then always I'll get DMs going, why haven't you done this about this issue? And then I have to go, let's bring it back down and just actually remember what this is. Yeah, we are a community, we are a space, and we are all of that. It's like you say, you can't speak on everything. I think that's a really great point.
And let's be honest, you wouldn't go to JD Sports to try and buy a shed.
No, it's Sports Direct. Sports Direct's are selling sheds. Sports Direct, you go to Sports Direct for a shed.
You can go to Sports Direct for anything. Yeah. But you wouldn't walk into a shop and kick off that they don't. You wouldn't walk into a furniture shop and kick off because they don't sell food.
Yeah.
You can't come to a meme page and kick off because they're not being activists.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go to an activist page and say, why aren't you sharing funny Gemma Collins memes? Like, Come on. But that's not to say that you guys who are doing everything are not doing your own thing under the radar. You can't just keep pulling people up on things when they've got their own shit going on. People are dealing with things in their own way, Same as my show. I get people texting in sometimes saying, oh, there's lots going on in the world, and here you are talking about tops and bottoms. I'm like, yeah, because there's 1.5 million people currently listening that are tuned in because they're sick of hearing about
exactly.
that need to hear a bit of Katy Perry and a fun feature, Now,
my favourite Megamix ever, and I think everybody knows this, is the Saturdays Megamix. Now, I don't know why it's so biblical, but it is. I mean, we're going to do a spin-off episode about why the Saturdays Megamix is like superior to all of the Megamix that went before it. The Grease Megamix, Girls Aloud. But you actually work with a member of the Sats. What's it like working with Molly of the Saturdays? Appreciate that Molly does so much more than the Saturdays, but in Hun culture, Molly is Molly from the Saturdays.
Well, do you know what's funny? So whenever I got asked to cover with Molly last May, I think it was, somebody tweeted me, one of my Twitter guys tweeted me and says, can you ask Molly why she's not let her hair down?
Oh, because she had a song.
Why have you not someone's tweeted me and says, why have you not let your hair down? And she just burst out laughing. She was like, what the hell? And she laughed, and I didn't know that she had a song called Let Your Hair Down.
I actually was at GAY Heaven, and I was there the night that she did that. I can remember it. So if you see it, I was at the back screaming for Molly from Saturdays as You Let Your Hair Down, yeah.
Yeah, so she and so I didn't actually know that she had that had that song. But it's funny because it's like me with Steps. I've interviewed the different members of Steps separately, and I don't get too overwhelmed by it because it's just them by themselves.
Yeah.
If I was to see all of Steps together, that's when I would lose my shit.
Yeah.
That's when there's just that power of them all being together. Same as Molly. Molly by herself is Molly to me.
Yeah.
And I love her. She is an incredible broadcaster. I have seen her in the studio. She's so hardworking and unbelievable and just fucking hilarious as well. And she eats fajitas with a knife and fork.
Oh God. I mean, that's Hun. That's Preemie Hun.
Preemie Hun. And so whenever it was just me and her working together, I think you're Molly King. But if I was to see Molly with the rest of her girls,
Frankie, Molly, Una, Vanessa, Rochelle, what you doing?
Like literally all together, I would die off. I'd be like, look at our girl go. There she is with her tribe this Saturdays. So yeah, but I always take the piss. Like if I ever play the Saturdays on my show, I tell everyone it's because Molly's paying me to play it.
Why, in your opinion, do you think the Saturdays Megamix is so chef's kiss?
Well, for me as a DJ, it's brilliant because I can whack it on and I can go to the toilet, go to the bar, go to kiss a boy, and then come back and it's still on.
That is whenever we do the brunches, which I can't believe you've not been to yet, FYI. whenever we do the brunches, that is the point where we take the QR code around so everybody can scan to get their answer sheets for the quiz, because it gives you 7 minutes 28 or whatever to get the hell round and go and have a slash and go and have a vape or what have you.
But I think it's just absolute musical gold.
Yeah.
I think you can listen to it and you're taking on such a journey. Like, it takes you to all these different places. But don't you think as well, the brilliant thing about all mega mixes are, but particularly this one, is that it reminds you of that period.
Yeah.
So in those 7 minutes, 28 seconds, you're taken through different albums, but different eras, different breakups, different friends, different smells. When I hear this Saturday's Mega Mix, I can still smell CK1.
Really?
Yes!
Oh my God.
I can still pull on those smells and pull on that time of my life.
So when I hear the Saturday's Mega Mix, I smell doner meat from the kebab shop from Flame in Luton, where I used to live. Have you ever been to Flame in Luton?
I've never been to Luton, darling.
Have you never been to Luton? Right. Well, I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I love a provincial. Like, don't get me wrong, I like all of you, like, went to Jodie Harsh the other week, had an amazing time there. But I love a provincial gay queer night out.
Love it.
Love it.
You can't, honestly, it's a spectacle. It's the best night because you get all these incredible characters, people just living their best lives, dancing around. I went to Dempsey's in Sheffield.
Been there with the cages.
Dempsey's in Sheffield a couple of months ago now, and I'd been to see a charity event that my friend was putting on. Babes, get this. Me, Joe McElderry, Faye from Steps, in the cage at Sheffield and Dempsey's. I thought, I've died and gone to fucking gay heaven here.
That is like a bukkake of Hun.
It was a fever dream. That's what it was.
That was just craziness.
But also, it's been years since I'd been there, since the first time. But it's what I love about Dempsey's is in the daytime, it's a chippy.
That explains a lot, actually.
So when you go to Dempsey's and it stinks of chip fat, it's not because of the people in it. It's because it's a fucking chippy in the daytime.
Back to DJ now, because you also go out and DJ in pubs and clubs as well. We put a question out to our Hunsnet followers, like, what are the honeyest songs that people can request, or like Hun bangers that will definitely, like, make them live, love, laugh on the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
But as a DJ, before we go to what they said, as a DJ, what are your, like, oh my God, I'm going to drop this and the Huns are going to absolutely live for it?
Probably Live and Joy, Dreamer.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, I love my naughties dance anthems. I mean, you come to my gig and we get a full. If the whole thing is, in fact, I've been booked to DJ in Reading in July, and all they want is naughties dance anthems. Wet Dream.
Your Heard and Fits, your Lasgos.
Yeah, your Robin S's, CC Penistons.
Technically they're 90s.
If I drop like the Ketchup song.
Oh, I say hey. I went down, I don't know why, but I was like, there's a real story about that. They're sisters, aren't they, the Ketchup song girlies? And apparently the song doesn't make any sense in Spanish.
Oh, it doesn't make any sense in any language. But it's perfect. I can always work out who my Huns are when I play that, because they will all know the routine. We'll all know the routine.
Right, well, here are some, we put this question out to the Huns, like, if they were at your gig, what they would be requesting. Yeah. Abby Farrell Music, I mean, if you've got music in your like Insta name, it means you probably know what you're talking about, says Mystique, Scandalous.
Duh. See, with all of these songs, I like to find a good mix of them.
Yeah. Mr. AW Maverick says something kind of, ooh, girls allowed. That makes people, that is like catnip to Huns, isn't it? Brilliant. And Louise Ferris says, what's she going to look like with a chimney on it? Tampra. That is a good one. We forget to play that at Hun Brunches, I reckon.
Gonna
look like with it on the side.
I'm putting that in my...
get that in your notes. Quick fire now, Dean. We're also continuing with the theme of music. 3 songs that they can be all about you. If you nothing to do with your crowd in your DJ sets, this is all about you. So a song that makes you live. So it's Friday, it's sunny, you're kicking the weekend off in your back garden, and you're living with your Huns. What song makes you live?
At the minute, it's probably Anish Kumar and Barry Can't Swim with Blackpool Boulevard.
Song that makes you love, something that makes you feel that you're in love, or if you put you in the mood for love, or you might have on whilst you're
making love.
Well, I didn't want to say it, Hun.
Well, I don't want to do it either. I've not had sex in so fucking long. I probably need a song to make me want to do it.
Could it be the ketchup song?
Yeah. Got a nice beat to it anyway. No, probably if we're talking about love and making love and my love life at the minute, probably Steps Tragedy.
Tragedy, the Full Intention remix.
When the feeling's gone and you can't go on.
Night and day. And finally, a song that gets you pissing yourself laughing or thinks about a time you've like laughed loads.
Anything by RuPaul, really, because that auto tune makes me laugh.
Does it make you go like that? Are you one of those?
Yeah, well, I'm not a cat kind of girl. But shablam.
Yeah.
Probably a song that makes me laugh. Anything by RuPaul.
I like the one when RuPaul like literally because there's a lot of RuPaul where he's like
yeah, very that. Just a nice strong auto tune. Or just a nice bing bang bong. I still laugh when I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
If bing bang bong comes on in a club, and it still does because we're rinsing it, I still like to laugh.
It does elucidate quite a honey response from the audience, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Finally, Dean, every week on the Hundamental Guide to Life, our guests get to hunduct a right Royal Hun into the Royal Hun Hall of Fame as the Royal Hunness. It's a lot of hunning, a lot of royals there. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
You can induct any Hun that you want into the Royal Hun or Hall of Fame, and they will live there for this week as this week's Royal Hunness. Who do you want to choose and why?
It's got to be Molly King. She is a complete and utter Hun. She's a sister. I adore her. I think that she's given me so many laughs. But I think that if you follow her on Instagram, or if you listen to her, she's on after me on the weekend. So I do 10:30 to 1, and Molly's on with Matt from 1 to 4. And she's just funny. She doesn't take herself too seriously. And I think that's the sign of a good Hun. If one cannot laugh at one's Hunness, one is not truly a Hun.
That is wise words to live by. Molly King, congratulations. You are this week's Royal Hunness. Prance, my queen, Prance. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I want to say thank you for getting me through the pandemic and making me laugh on a reg.
Oh, Hun, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for getting us through Friday and Saturday mornings.
And Sunday.
Right, we'll try. Well, I tell you what, I'll listen in this Sunday, and the Huns are listening to you. Everybody, well, just remind everybody, in fact, tell everybody, if they don't listen to you already, where they can find you on your socials and on radio.
So, you can listen to me every Friday, Saturday and Sunday on BBC Radio 1 from 10:30 to 1 for good tunes, good crack, and good vibes only. You can follow me on Instagram at The Dean Life. You can follow me on Twitter at The Dean Life. But don't follow me in the street, because that's fucking weird.
Wise words to live by. Dean, you've been an absolute star. Bye, Hun.
Bye, Hun!
Well, that's it. Another episode of the Hundamental Guide to Life is over. But before you go, have you checked out the brand new Hunsnet website? www.hunsnet.com, our brand new home on the Tinterweb. Need to get tickets to Hun Brunch? We got you, darling, as all the tickets can be found there. Not yet pre-ordered the brand new Hunsnet book? Hitting bookshelves this August, might I say. Don't worry, babes, all is forgiven, because you can pre-order it on the site. And finally, if you want to treat yourself or one of your honeys to a dead gorgy present, you can browse our full range of merch too. Log on now for all things Hunsnet on the web, www.hunsnet.com.
Insanity Group.